So there's our little shape. So let me show you what we're going to do next. So to be able to connect going this way along my bracelet, I'm coming out here, but I need to be coming out of here. Let me show you from here. I'm exiting here. Where I need to be exiting is right here. So I'm going to do a little stitching around. So I'm coming out of the top of that bead. I need to take my needle and pass through the bottom of that next of the same bead I'm exiting, plus the top of that very next bead. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to pull through. So now I'm exiting the top of this bead, or exiting to the left since I turned the work around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back through that same bead in the hole on the right, and I'm going to pass through the next bead. Well, let me see. Got my work flipped around somehow. I'm exiting here. I need to come through the bottom hole in the opposite direction, plus the top of the very next bead, just like that. Swing back towards myself. And now I can pass through this hole, the bottom, the right-hand hole of that very next bead, which is where I need to be exiting, and I'm going to pull all that through. So now I'm exiting in the right spot. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to pick up this beautiful little tile bead, and I'm going to let it drop down. I am going to roll it around this way. And because I already have this red one created, I'm just going to show you guys how I'm going to stitch through. So I want to connect these two. So I know that I need to come through the bottom hole of that top side bead there. So let me just do that. And while I'm at it, I might as well pass through the very next bead, just like that. I'm going to pull all of that through. So now I can reverse direction by coming through the other hole of that bead. Might have to pick it up. I'm going to come through the other hole back in the opposite direction. We're reversing again. And I'm going to try to get my needle through the other bead too, but I cannot. So I'm just going to come through that bead. And lay this down so I don't cause a knot or flip my work around. So now I can pull this nice and firm, just like so. And the only thing I have to adjust is my layout. So you can see here, I'm coming out of this bottom hole. I sewed through my tile bead. I went into this bottom hole, the top hole on this bead, turned around, came through the bottom hole on that bead, the top hole on this bead. Now I can come back through my tile bead in the bottom bead on this side, but through the top hole. Pull all the way through. I'm going to pull it nice and snug so that my work is all connected. Actually, I missed a bead, so I'm going to try this again. Okay, so sorry about that. I am coming out of the bottom of this bead. I forgot to stitch through the top hole of that bead. And as you can see, that made somewhat of a little bit of a mess, but it was easy enough to fix. So now I can come through my tile bead and the top hole of the corresponding super duo here. So let me pull now. Now I have what I was after. Alright, so now we are exiting from the top hole of this super duo. We are going to come through the bottom hole of the next bead. Take your time. Try not to scrub your finish off of your super duos as you work, if you're working with these opaque ones. And don't let your thread get caught under. You want to be really careful. You can see right here that I accidentally caught my working thread in that loop. So before I pulled really tight, I checked it. I pulled it back out, and now I can pull tight like that. All right. So now I want to come back through this tile bead. To do that, all I have to do is I'm exiting the bottom of this bead. I'm going to go back up through the hole on the opposite side of that bead, plus the left-hand side of this bead here. And I'll be right back in position to pass back through my tile. Now I can come through the tile and the super duo here on this side. And I've actually come out with a really cute looking little bow. Alright, so what I want to do now is I want to sew across till I'm exiting this bead on this hole on this super duo. And all I have to do is sew straight across, but I really need to be careful not to scratch the surface of these opaque super duos, so I'm going to take my time. I'm going to sew through a couple at a time until I get all the way across, just like that.